No, I'll just ignore it. Oh, let me see here. That's a little bit better. Okay. Well, that's a little bit better. Yeah, no, it's not. Not really. It don't matter. You, I tell you. Yeah, this stuff I need to deal with. Oh, good afternoon. Let me see here. I don't know about this. I got my computer set up in a different location. I'm just trying to adjust things. But hey, Christy, how you doing? You're walking dogs. Well, there you go. That sounds exciting. You're walking dogs and listening to me. Bet you the dogs are more fun. Anyway, hey, how you doing? Anyway, yeah, it's just been a crazy busy week. I tell you. Uh, Needless to say, obviously, I got my hair cut. Okay, I feel so much better. It was getting to that stage where it was very annoying. I couldn't do anything with it. It had a mind of its own, and it wasn't listening to me at all. So I said, "Fine, you won't listen. I'll deal with you." So off she went. So I did that this week, um, and I had put some orders in online. Man, I tell you, I wish I could get some stuff around here. I had to. I put a fence around, not the whole way around the cabin because of where I had to put the fence charger. I was going to do a hardwire fence around the cabin to keep the birds and the goats and the steer and the horse out of my garden. And I got to thinking, wait a minute, I had this 5 mile charger that I'm not using. I can hook that up. I can run an electric fence, and then I get some kind of harder fence to put on the bottom of it because the electric fence will not keep out chickens or ducks. Okay, and I've had one duck come in since I put that fence up. Anyway, yeah. So I I had ordered online this plastic chicken fence. Okay, it looks like chicken wire. Is That's the pattern of it, but it's smaller. The holes are smaller, and it's plastic, a thick plastic. So I figure, okay, I'll get that. It's lightweight because I'm using step-in post for the to go around the cabin, and and it would be quick and easy. Okay. Well, I checked online; they didn't have any at Tractor Supply, so at least according to the website. So went ahead and I ordered uh, the black fence, and when it came in, I thought I ordered enough, but I didn't order enough. So I got all the way around the cabin. I think I went through this before, but there's more to it. Um, and well, I didn't have enough, so I ordered. Well, I had remembered seeing it in Tractor Supply when I was in there after I had ordered stuff online. So it was a different color, but that's okay. I just wanted to get the back done. So when I went into Tractor Supply, they didn't have it. All they had was the wire kind, and it's like, no, I wasn't going to mess with the wire stuff. So I figure, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to order it online again. So I come back home and I go online. Go to order the same thing again. I figured I needed at least 2 more rolls to finish everything. Well, they only had 1 roll left of the black, which is what I did the fence in. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'll get the last black one, and then they still had some green, so I figured, well, okay, I'll finish up with the black, and then I'll just finish the rest with the green. So the only catch is, okay, the black came fairly quickly. I had it within a few days. However, The green, it's not even going to ship before next week if I'm lucky. So I still can't finish my fence, but at least I got the black and I got a bit of a gate set up. So now they're not coming in, at least not that way anyway. Um, so that's working. And once I got that up, then nothing was pulling my cucumbers out. Nothing was pulling out my beans. Nothing was pulling out my cabbages. Yeah, I had to replant a few cucumbers. I had to replant my bush beans, some of my bush beans, and I had to replant almost all of my pole beans. And well, I don't know what I'm going to do about the cabbage. Something. It could have been a goat. It could have been Chucky came in and helped themselves to one of my cabbages. So that leaves 3 cabbages. One is not doing great, so that means I've got 2 that are doing decent. So I don't know. This late in the game, it's probably not worth putting any more cabbages in the ground. So I probably won't until the fall. I think I can plant cabbages again in the fall, I think. So we'll see. When the seedlings come up in the fall, come out, I'll get some, and I'll plant some cabbages then. But that's okay. It's just my husband and I, so we don't eat that much, So I probably do not have enough garden space right now that I can grow all of our food in. Deep South Homestead, this ain't okay. And he's been at it for a whole lot more years than I have. I was chasing a chicken once, and she was eating the garden as she ran. Oh yeah, Oh, I tell you. Oh, I gotta tell you a chicken story too. So anyway, hopefully I've got it pretty much protected. I have one raised bed where I planted leaf lettuce and radishes. And it was the first thing I planted. It's done next to nothing. The seedlings have just come up, and that's it. They've not done any more. And I've watered them. We've had rain, and they've done virtually nothing. It's just these little things. The only thing that's done anything is the weeds. The weeds are coming up great. So I think I'm going to completely tear that bed up, fluff it up a little bit, maybe add a little bit more compost in there. And this time I've got some patty pan squash seeds. I think I'm going to plant some of that in there. If I can find, I've got some sugar baby watermelon seeds. If I can find them, because they're not in my seed box. I bought a box for my seeds. I should have brought that up to show you guys. Anyway, yeah, if I can find my sugar baby seeds, I might try planting 1 or 2 in there, and if it hangs over and does whatever, then it won't be so bad. But we'll see. I'm just not sure. But the patty pan squash, which I love, definitely plant at least 1 plant. Okay, probably 2, and we'll go from there. Oh, so that's what I was doing with the garden with that. Okay. Another thing that I did, let me see here. Oh. This is what you call an unofficial unboxing. I've been able to find regular mouth mason jar lids in the store, but not wide mouth. So I went online and I ordered some wide mouth jar lids. Okay. Just getting things ready, getting what I can. Okay. And another thing I got, and this is thank you, Southern Prepper One, because he did this, and I use these, and I didn't know I could get this many. Fly strips. I have tried other things, the long strips, which look good in some people's places, but not in mine. I tried them in the barn, and they kept getting hung up with the animals, and and they wouldn't stay rolled tight. They would unroll, and it's like, oh, they were a mess. And I tried this other thing with, it's got like a cylinder on it, and it's like, I didn't like that as much. This is, every time I turn around, this is the best. Okay. They work. and when they're full, you take them down, you put them in the trash. Okay. So they work. Anyway, flies have been terrible this year. Not so much in the house. Like last year, we had a lot of flies in the house. We're not having quite as much of a problem in the house this year, but we are having a big problem in the barn and the barnyard, the whole area around the barn. So I'm thinking about hanging some of these in the barn, which is one reason why I'm doing the live stream in the upstairs in my house instead of in the barn. I was going to do it in the barn, but the flies are just so bad. And the gnats, the little tiny ones, oh, they're just terrible. Yeah, they're awesome. So this, I think there's 35 in a package, and it wasn't bad. It was like just under $10 or right around $10. So I figured, you know what? I get some. I still have some downstairs that I've got open. I haven't had to use them in the house but one time. And it hasn't been bad since. So, it's that time of year, and we don't have the place completely closed up tight. So, unfortunately, it's what you got to live with. But they do help. They do help a lot. So I was happy to get that. If I need them, because I have in the past gone looking for them in the stores and haven't been able to find them. So that's why a deal like that, I'm going to get it, have it on hand. Whether or not I order more down the road, I don't know. I may or may not. It all depends. But I'm glad to have those because they'll be used. They'll be used. Another thing I got, because I've been having a problem with mice, as you know, and I bought these mouse traps at the dollar store, okay, or Dollar General, whatever. And I thought they were great because the mouse would go in and you wouldn't really see it. I've got a lot of flies this year. Yeah, I was surprised we don't have more in the house. We've got a few. Maybe they come in when I go through the screen. I don't know. But most of them this year, it's been a bad year for ticks and flies this year. It's been terrible. As a matter of fact, it's been so bad, I've had to resort to spraying the goats, which they do not appreciate one bit. I sprayed the goats, I sprayed Chucky, and I sprayed Honey. I still had some fly spray for her from last year. And it's just to give them some relief. It's been just absolutely terrible this year. So anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Anyway, yeah, so that's why I'm up here, is because the flies are so bad. But let me see here. So that was we also went to town. I was going to get some fence posts. Okay. We can't get a lot at one time because we only have so much money coming in a month. And they only had 5 or 6 left, the size I wanted at Tractor Supply. And when I went back there to pick them up, the guy showed them to me and said, "Are you sure you want to get these?" And I looked at them. Well, most of them were about like that big around, which is not very big. Okay. They were not the full dimension they were supposed to be, which they would have come in handy for some things, and if they were cheaper, I probably would have gone for it, but they were over $10 a piece. So it wasn't worth it. I told the guy, that there was only 2 there that I would have even considered getting for the price I had to pay for them. And he told me, this is a guy that works at Tractor Supply, that he believes what lumber prices are coming down. He said that he priced a deck for himself, I think, a few months ago. And it was over $1,500 to build this deck that he wanted. And he just priced it, was it last week or the week before? And it was under $1,000. I said, all right, we will wait and see what the price is when the truck comes in with another load. And if it's cheaper, we'll get more. So we put a hold on the fence posts. I'm trying to get the fence post in that I need. Okay. I do have some T-posts, which I still need to try and pull out of the ground. And it's a lot easier to do that after a good rain. which we don't have any for another couple days, I think. So fence posts we didn't get. However, I got 5 cattle panels. Okay, what am I going to do with 5 cattle panels? Well, one cattle panel is to be used as a trellis for my pole beans. Okay, and the way where I'm putting it, I'm hoping that the pole beans will act as a shade for the front of my cabin. I'm using a hog panel for the cucumbers because it's not quite so wide a bed. So I'll have the cucumbers and the pole beans, and I'm doing it on purpose because it's closest to the cabin, and so it'll act as a shade for the front of the cabin. At least in theory. Hopefully they do well. Yeah, there was a customer at TSC said he had just spent $1,500 on goat fencing. Oh, I tell you, goat fencing, I'll tell you. Oh, it is so expensive. It really is. That's why I haven't used it. It's twice the price of a cattle panel. It's like I use the cattle panels for the buck, okay, for Billy. He can't get through it, and there's a young partial buck. Rudolph is in with him right now, and also I put the weather in there, little man, when at night and when it's just Billy. But that pen, I can use the cattle panels. They're high enough to where they can't jump it, okay? But it's also heavy duty enough that it can withstand a buck, okay? At least if I put the fence post in right. And I think I'm going to have to cement some of them in, especially the corner post. So, but that's for later on. That's what those cattle panels are for. They're for the buck barn. Buck pen. I'm going to expand that so he has more room. But I'm not doing that until October. Reason being, because that's when I'm going to allow him to run with the does. Okay. So he won't have to be in there so much, and I won't be feeding the does as much in the way of feed or anything then either. So they'll be out, they'll be getting acorns and stuff like that, and they won't be bred, at least in theory anyway. Hopefully there hasn't been any miscalculations on my part, but yeah, the panels, they were, for the 5 panels, you figure they were over $30 a piece. So it was close to $200, I think. Let me see here. 3, it's 90, 60, about $150 roughly, maybe a little bit over, because you got to pay taxes and all that fun stuff. I'm not registered for farm taxes on at Tractor Supply. I'm only registered at 2 other places, but not there. So anyway, yeah, but the goat fence itself is pretty expensive. You figure it's twice the price of a cattle panel. So anyway, cattle panels for the bucks. They can't jump it. I don't have to worry about kids getting out or anything like that. And well, they went up to I don't know what I think they were like $20. Well, now they were $31.99. So, but it's easier to deal with cattle panels than a roll of fence. Hog panels I use for the does, okay? Because they're not apt to jump it unless they're if they've been spooked, or if they really, 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 like if the kid's not in with them. Oh my, we got something in here, some kind of a bug. I'll deal with that later, I guess. Go away. Are you a bee? What are you? I don't know what it is, but it needs to land somewhere. Some kind of a wasp. Not wasp, but some type of a bee. I'll have to deal with it later. Yeah, they land in here and they don't go out alive if I can help it. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? So we got that. Oh, go away, my dear. Just stay away. Yeah. So we got the cattle panels. We got that. I'll stash them away, and come October, I will be expanding the buck pit. Would you stop? Just light over there and stay there. I tell you, they just don't listen, do they? Anyway, uh, so anyway, uh, see if anything important. No, nothing important. My cell phone. Um, so the other thing that happened this week is I made a connection with a group. They're primarily sheep, but there are some people with goats, and so it's small ruminants, a group that is specifically for my area of Kentucky. Okay, it's not for the whole state. And the guy that I was talking to, he understands where some of my issues have been. Is that number one, especially in this area, we are very much cattle country. Okay, so any resources out there, it's very limited for goats. It's mostly cattle. You want to know anything about cattle, you can get it. You want to have any kind of a program to help you set up anything, to get a breeding pool, anything like that, you can get it. Okay, if it has anything to do with cattle, there's resources out there for you. Okay, not so much goats, and apparently not so much sheep. It's more so, apparently, from what his experience is, it's been more focused out west in western Kentucky. But even then, the big thing west of us is horses, which, okay, I love the horses, the name like mother many horses, but I'm not heavy into the type of, like, they're into, like, thoroughbred racing and stuff like that. And I never was into that. Okay. So I love the horse. I'm not terribly fond of thoroughbred racing. Okay. So anyway, so he got me, he also gave me some magazines. I think I've got at least one of these anyway, called Hoof Prints. It's coming up backwards on my screen. I don't know if it is on yours. But this is a publication that the statewide organization puts out. And there's a few good articles in here. But apparently the group, they're a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive. I noticed the farmers coop caters to cattle people. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Big time cattle. But he did say that there's a lot of cattlemen that are starting to make the switch from cattle to sheep. Okay. Now, I can understand the sheep. Hey, when I moved to Kentucky, when I had the intent, okay, to move to Kentucky, I knew it was either going to be goats or it was going to be sheep. Okay. Small ruminant. But I was going to let the land, the property that we ended up with, determine which it was going to be. Well, the property here has a lot of brush on it. Okay. And even surrounding property also has a lot of brush on it. Okay. And it's just not so much pasture. So therefore, that determined for me it was going to be goats. Okay. Now, a little bit disappointing because I love lamb. Okay. I would have loved to raise the lamb for my own freezer. I may still yet do that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm considering it, but the only thing is that a feeder lamb is not cheap. To be perfectly honest, Chucky as a bottle calf was cheaper than a feeder lamb. Okay. So, don't know whether or not I'll ever do another steer the way I did Chucky. I don't know. I'm not making any plans for it. But I have him, and he's already earmarked, and he's going to be going to freezer camp at the end of the summer. So, yeah. But we'll see if I do anything smaller, like a feeder lamb, or maybe I'll get a breeding pair and raise my own. I don't know. I had a bad experience with a ram, and so I'm a little bit reluctant to get into a breeding pair. But I don't know. We'll see. It's right now it's goats because goats fit the property. Okay. So I would have a hard time processing a lamb. I know I need to get tough though. Well, I think that I would probably cheat, and I think I would send the lamb to a butcher. Okay, but I wouldn't have them do a lot. But I mean, if I had to, but if I had raised it myself, I don't know. I don't know. Um, if it was a ram lamb, probably wouldn't have as much of a problem. Okay. Um, Chucky is getting to the point now where I'm almost going to be glad to see him go. Okay. They're cute as all get out when they're little. Oh, those big eyes, and then they look up to you, and it's like, oh, they just melt your heart, and you're so cute and cuddly. Well, they grow up and they mature. And guess what? 1,000-pound animal or a headstrong male is not so cute anymore. Okay. Even Billy has had his moments. Okay. As an intact male, he has had his moments where he could have been dangerous. Okay. Now, thankfully, I was still able to handle him. And, you know, I put him in his place, and he's been respectful ever since. But he's also not in rut right now. So the time that most dangerous is when they're in rut. Okay. And that's typical with any male. Okay. So it's something you need to consider. Okay. And you know, like people raise pigs, they have a boar. I've heard horror stories of boars. I've seen incidents on YouTube where, you know, they've had encounters with boars, and they were not pleasant at all. Okay. Actually downright dangerous and nearly deadly. Okay. A boar will kill you and eat you. Okay. At least the goat won't eat me. He might kill me, but he won't eat me. Okay. So spring can be a dangerous time. Yes. Yes. Well, with goats, it'll be fall. Okay. I don't think he was in rut earlier. I mean, he'll still do, even if the girls are in season, he'll do his job. But the main rut for the goats is the fall. That's the main rut. So anyway, so another thing that I ordered, got this week, and I'm pleased, but I'm also disappointed. Okay. I have not had this for many years, and I'll tell you why. Okay. I got myself a large print Bible. Okay. Here's the deal. Okay. Back when I was in college, okay, my friend pushed around a friend of mine. She had a few bruises, but it could have been much worse. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so the story with the Bible. Yeah. When I was in college, my mother bought me a Bible as a gift. Okay. Boar. Okay, boar. That makes sense. Yes, yes. They can be very dangerous. Anyway, yeah, so my mother bought me this Bible. Okay. And I was very happy with it. It was a good study Bible. Okay. Well, I had taken it to class with me, and I had it in my book bag. And so where we were staying at, I had my book bag there, and we had gone out. This was before we had our dog living with us. They're bored. Okay, yeah, okay. It makes a lot more sense when you say boar instead of the friend. Yeah, okay, your friend's boar. Okay. Anyway, so somebody broke in while we were out, and he did a snatch and grab. Okay, he came in the window by the kitchen sink, grabbed what he could on the way out. We hadn't been there that long. We still had stuff in boxes. Okay, and he walked out the door. Okay, what he got was my book bag for school. He didn't get a lot. I didn't have a lot of valuable stuff, but my Bible was gone. The other book that was in that was the we got it. The other thing that was in that book bag was a borrowed school book. Okay. We were able to get the borrowed school book back, but I never saw the Bible again that my mother had given me. I was very upset about that. So, anyway, so I didn't have a Bible of my own for a while. Just, I think I had an old one, an NIV or something. Anyway, but when my mother passed away, I got her Bible. Oh, pardon me. Okay. So this is the size of my mother's Bible. This is the one I got. Okay. And bear in mind, this is in a case. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice Bible and all. Yeah. But the print is very small. There's that. Ooh. And there's this. Okay. Big difference in the print. So, I'm sorry. My eyes are just getting too old. And, I mean, sometimes I can see better without them when I'm reading or crocheting or something like that, or watching on the computer. Been reading large print a while. It's falling apart. It's marked like I like it though. Okay, there you go. Yeah. I went with this one because they said that the binding was sewed. So I'm hoping it's fake leather. It's not the quality that my mother would have bought for me, but so long as the words are correct, okay, a true translation. It's a New American Standard. Now, the only thing I do not like about it, and I'm a little bit ticked off about it, and it's one of the reasons why I did not buy an NIV, is because in Job 40, it talks about and describes Behemoth. And they have a footnote in this Bible, and the footnote reads, or hippopotamus. That ticks me off big time. Because if you read the description of the behemoth, it talks about its tail swaying like a cedar. Now, I'll tell you, one of the wonderful things I love about this property is that big cedar right by my driveway. It's huge. Okay? I'm sorry. You ever seen the tail of the hippopotamus? It ain't no cedar tree. It's like little thing like this. Okay? Just a little thing like this. That's hippopotamus tail. Okay? It's like, that ain't no hippopotamus, dude. Okay, seriously. So that ticks me off. Okay. It's God is telling Job. He is describing Behemoth to Job. God's doing the description. Okay. What? I have an NIV, but don't always read the notes. Yeah, okay. NIV says hippopotamus or elephant. Okay, which is why I didn't go with the NIV. I'm very disgusted that the New American Standard put that in there. It's not in the main text, but it is a footnote, and I'm disgusted. I'm sorry. The description. There's no way, absolutely no way, unless you want to call God a liar. Okay, and I'm sorry, I ain't gonna call God no liar. Okay, but unless you want to call God a liar, there ain't no way that's no hippopotamus. Okay, there ain't no way. Not with a tail like a cedar. It's like even a little cedar, okay, that's young. Well, you figure, okay, if it's a young animal, a young cedar, okay, but no, there ain't no way. Okay, I'm sorry. So that ticks me off. But at least I can read it, right? I had it open in front of me on my lap, and it's like, oh yeah, I can read this with or without my glasses. so anyway, I'm very happy to have that. Of course, the only thing, like I said to my cousin, I said, yeah, I'll be able to read it, but in 20 or 30 years, I may not be able to lift it. So anyway, so I'm very happy to have it. I just so disappointed about that. Yeah, so okay. So what have I been doing? I've been mucking out the running shed because I'm doing that in the morning. Okay, getting the running shed, the run-in, okay, barn, cleaned out. I got to get at least the half side done. Okay. Of course, the whole thing needs to be done, but at least the first half. Okay, so that I can build my new goat stall. Okay, I'm dividing the run-in half. Okay, for goats. I believe I said this before, that it's cooler in the summer in there. The goat barn gets really warm in the summer. I hate having them in there. So not seeing that in mine, but it's an old NIV. Somebody told me the newer version is different. I hadn't heard that. So maybe that's what it is. Well, there you go. Good for you that you don't have that in yours, because that ticks me off. It's not accurate at all. And to even suggest such a thing, is sacrilege as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And that's my opinion for what it's worth. So anyway, yeah, so I'm getting the run-in cleaned out. It's going easier than I expected it to. But still, there's a certain time frame I need to get out there to do it, because then it starts to get hot. That sun starts to get high on the one side, and it starts to get hot between the barn and where I'm dumping the manure. Okay. And not only that, but when that sun gets up there and starts to get warm, that's when Chucky decides it's time to come in the run-in. And where does he want to lay? He wants to lay right in the corner where I need to work. So I done several, I think like 4 or 5 wheelbarrow loads yesterday. And I came in for a little bit of break, have a drink of water, what have you. Sat down for a few minutes. Then I went back out. I figure, okay, I'll tackle that corner, get that corner done, because especially since I had a duck that was looking at that corner again to have a nest. I said, well, I don't want her nested in there. Okay. And Chucky was there. Okay. Well, Chucky's getting pretty big. It's like, you know what? I ain't fighting with him. I'll let him have that corner. I'll work someplace else. So I let him be. So needless to say, Sunday morning, I did not get out there to do any mucking today. So it's too hot now, too hot and muggy. So I'll have to do it tomorrow. But so if I do that in the morning, then I can come inside. It's a little bit colder in here, except for upstairs. It's on the warmer side upstairs. But downstairs is still being rather cool. I can work on my son's room and get that. He's got so much stuff. And I'm trying to repack it. That's the wonderful thing about this Bible. It came in a box that was bigger than this. I can use that to pack up some of my son's things. So, yeah. So I get that done. And once I get my son's room cleaned out, cleared out, and ready, I've got wallboard coming. Is it this week? I think it might be this week or next week. I had to change the date because they were going to come after we had 2 days of rain, and where I was going to have them put it, there ain't no way they would have been able to get up there. So it feels hotter now, even if it's only in the 80s. Yeah, I think it's the humidity is up, I really do. That it just feels more humid. And it's like, I'm going to try to not put the air conditioners in. We went through the whole summer last year with no air conditioning, just fans. And that's fine. Because we only had a couple of days in a row where it was rough. Okay. I figured, if for only a couple of days, we can deal with it. But if we have any long stretches, I may have to put the air conditioners in. I hope not. But we'll see. I'm hoping once I get the insulation, which is another thing that's coming, insulation and wallboard. Okay. If we can get the insulation done up here, that'll help a lot. Because I'm looking, there's no insulation here. The whole end down there is not done. I've only got a third, right back here, right behind you, and down this wall to the stairwell, I believe. Yeah, to the stairwell. That's the only thing that's insulated up here. And of course the walls. The walls were easy. But the ceiling, that's not so easy. So once we get that should help to cool things down. Okay, it should help. What's up there right now, that foil bubble wrap stuff that's up there on the ceiling now, that helps some, but it's not perfect. So we'll do that. Get the insulation done, but I got to get the insulation and the wallboard done downstairs first. And that's going to be in my son's area. That's going to become a living room. And then move my son and the furniture out of the kitchen area and into that area. And that'll free up space for me to finish the kitchen. I've stayed some in my uninsured cabin in Tennessee, hot or cold. Aha. Yeah. Did you have at least heat? So cabin, I mean, if it's set up right, if you've got shade over it, it wouldn't be so bad. Stupid spell check insulation. Okay. Okay. I've stayed some in my insulation. Okay. Uninsulated cabin, right? Is that right? Uninsulated cabin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, our first summer here, actually it wasn't even summer. It was September. First year here in September, it was hot. And we borrowed a freestanding air conditioner, and it barely helped. Once we got all the downstairs insulated, and we just didn't get any wallboard up. And that was a mistake. I had a little buddy heater and a sleeping bag. Okay, well, that's not so bad. At least that's something. But insulation does make a difference, both for heat and for cold. So I'm hoping this year we get all the insulation done. I finished the downstairs, my son's area, because some of the insulation had come out and it just made a mess. I'm just going to put fresh new insulation and put wallboard up immediately. Okay. Picked out a color paint so we can paint the walls fairly quickly, so long as it's not going to be too, sticky, because there's only one window. I used a fan when it was hot. Yeah, afternoon. Yeah, that's the thing here. The afternoon, that sun beats on that side of the cabin. Morning is not so bad, but the afternoon sun is terrible, which is why I put sheets down on the porch in front of the windows, okay? When the cucumbers and the pole beans grow up, that's going to help shade that area. But anything else? I thought about an arbor. I don't know. The landscaping thing is not a priority. So, maybe down the road I'll put some kind of an arbor up or something. I don't know. But I got to do something to shade the afternoon just for when it's hot, in the summer. That's when I need the most. I don't need it in the winter. In the winter, I would like the sun because that helps to warm things up. Okay, then it's nice. But in the summer, no, it's not nice. Now we have those tall trees out in the pasture, and that helps. But it helps more down by the barn than it does up here. It's hotter up here than it is down by the barn. Which is like, in hindsight, maybe I should have put the house down there and the barn up here. But no, I think the animals appreciate that it's cooler down there. So, and it's just the way it works out. Okay. So anyway, so once I get that done, get him out of the way, then I'll focus on the kitchen, get the sink hooked up, and get the water hooked up. There ain't no way I want to go through another winter without running water. Okay, whether or not I get this done this summer, I don't know. It depends. As long as nothing else comes up that's going to take me away. I'm making progress out there in the run-in, getting that cleaned up. If I can get that cleaned up and clear it out and put a goat stall in there for them, I'll move them out of the goat barn, and I can clean that out at my leisure. Okay. And Billy and Rudolph, I'm hoping I can get hold of the vet to come out and do the surgery on Rudolph. But October is when whatever hasn't sold in the way of goats I'm selling, whatever hasn't sold by October is going to have to go to market. And I really hate the thought of that, because I'm thinking about Aster, who is the sweetest little boy, I'll tell you. Oh, he's got the little thingamajiggers, wobbles, whatever, like his mama. Oh, he's so cute. I hope I can sell him to someone who wants to use him as a breeder, because he's so sweet and he's so cute. Of course, they're all cute at this age, aren't they? And then they grow up. So he may grow up to be a brat. I don't know. But there's Aster, and there's a few of the girls that I would hate to have to take to market, because at market, you just don't know. Not too many people buy breeders at the market. So, and I don't want to see Sugar go there. I'm really praying hard that I can sell her as a pet, because Sugar is super sweet. So she can't stay here because she can't be a breeder. So, but anyway, whatever happens come October, they got to go. And I'll be down to the 5 breeders. It'll be Mama, Coco, Little Miss, Moo Moo, and Daisy. So 5 does. That's all. 5 does. And Billy. Now, still debating about Little Man. That would give me 7 goats. And I almost forgot, I'm keeping Lily. I'm flat out keeping Lily. Okay. So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8. And should I keep Ashley? Oh, Ashley is Little Mrs. Little Goat, Little Doe. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, she's terribly cute. She's gray. Okay. She's got light gray and then dark gray highlights, and she's so cute. Oh, okay. Don't fall in love with your livestock, especially when they're cute. Don't give them names. Oh, but unless I can get a break on hay, and I don't know, I haven't contacted my hay guy again since he told me he didn't have a price yet. And I really do need to, because I think they've been cutting hay this week. Find out what they figure the price is going to be. And I don't know if I get any from this cutting or not. I'll have to talk to them and see what the story is. Okay. My other neighbor, he has offered me hay. As a matter of fact, he brought me about 8 bales. It's like, I was shocked. I didn't expect, he said he'd bring me a few bales. Okay. I was expecting 2, 3 at the most. He brought me 8 bales. Can you believe it? So I got to take some eggs over to him, because I know he's probably needing them, and I just didn't have them to give him when he brought the hay. So, because the girls have been hiding their eggs, and plus I've got 5 broodies. Baby goats are so adorable. I know, doomed. I had a litter of puppies and kept all but one. Oh, I tell you, it's so hard to part with them, isn't it? Oh, that's why I ain't doing puppies. I am not doing puppies. I got to make an appointment for Sheba to get her surgery done, but I'm waiting until after Ruthie kids. We're still waiting on Ruthie. I thought for sure the other day, she seemed so miserable, and I thought I saw some more bagging up on her udder, and her tail felt like, you could be going tonight, maybe. Well, she didn't, and she's still not. So we're still waiting on Ruthie. I'm not going to have Sheba fixed until after Ruthie has her kid. And then I'll go from there. I do have someone who's interested in Ruthie, but I can't let her go because she's so close to kidding. I can't let her go until after she kids. Okay, because it could be a problem if I try to move her now. So, and I don't want to put her or the baby in danger. So, yeah. This chair is biting into my leg. So anyway, projects galore. I think I'm going to try to see if I can get some help when it comes to putting up fence. I want to put board fence along the driveway, which is one of the things I was trying to collect fence posts for. And then I got to expand the buck pen, but that's not until October. So I got time for that, praying the fence posts come down. The guy that cut down the black walnut, he is interested in a gnarly cedar that I have, and in exchange for me letting him have that cedar, he's going to cut down another cedar that would make great posts. So I don't know how many posts I'll get out of that. 2 for sure, probably 3. Beyond that, I don't know, because I'm terrible at checking to see how tall a tree is. And it's a double trunk cedar. So I might be able to get more. Okay. So I don't know. We'll see. Need Sheba, watching her. Yeah. Sheba comes in handy. For one thing, she cleans up the afterbirth. Also, it's good for the kid to bond to Sheba and Sheba to bond to the kid. Okay, so that initial interaction, I encourage that. And also, just in case we have an issue like we did with Ruthie's mother, Little Miss, where she kids out. I'm hoping that I can tell when she's kidding and keep her in. But if she happens to take the kid out and we can't find it, Sheba, if I learn to listen to Sheba, Sheba can find it. Okay. It's just, I need to trust Sheba. If I had been following Sheba the day that we lost Little Miss's other kid, we probably would have the second one still. And she was adorable too. But live and learn. So yeah, I really want Sheba around for all the kiddings. Hey Tim, just in time for me to leave. Yeah, I know. But hey, at least you got in to say hello anyway. Yeah. So ears are amazing. I call mine ears and noses. Yeah, that's all right, Tim. That's all right. Yeah, Sheba's fantastic. She really is. I love her. She does a great job. I've had little to no issues with predators since she's been here. Goodbye. Yeah. Oh well. Hey, what can I say? But but we're not going to do puppies with Sheba at all. So I was going to have Gracie fixed next, but I think Sheba's the bigger priority because I'm not going to go through what I went through with her first heat. I'm not going to go through that again, where she was locked up for 3 weeks. It's like, no, we're not doing that. I need her with the goats. That's what she's here for. That's her job. Her job's not to be a breeder. Her job is to be here for the goats. So people say, well, if you breed her, then you'll have a replacement. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay. There's plenty of Great Pyrenees dogs around here. If it gets to the point where she looks like she's starting to slow down, I'll see about getting another Pyrenees puppy. And so she can train it. But, things are fluid these days. So I don't know what's going to happen down the road. I may have to get rid of all of my livestock. I don't know. It all depends. If my neighbors have a car pull up, the dogs don't recognize the dogs go crazy. And that's what you want, so that, they're an alarm system. That's what Gracie is. Gracie is an alarm system. Yeah, she's sweet. She's, she loves Anya and she loves people and stuff. But if she hears somebody coming down that driveway and they haven't triggered the alarm. Yeah, I have a driveway alarm, but it doesn't always work. Anyway, she hears it sometimes before I do. She alerts, and I go and I look. Sure enough, I can usually hear somebody coming down or up the road before they get to my driveway. But it depends. With the fans going, sometimes I can't. But she can hear. So that's her job. Gracie has a job. The cats have a job. Sheba has a job. Everybody has a job. Honey's job right now is eating and pooping. She does that very well. So anyway, yeah, she's enjoying life right now. I've had her outside in the out of the pasture in the side pasture here. That's not fenced in, but she's enjoying eating the grass. And then I'll put her back in. I'll leave her out for a few hours, and she'll go back in. And she's good for the rest of the day. She has some grazing in the big pasture where she is, but it's not really enough. It's not the best. I need to lime the field, but I need to clean it up first so I can get something in there to lime it. And it's just, remember when I said about volunteers are very important? Well, the thing is, my volunteers don't do a whole lot of help when it comes to picking up stuff. They just make a mess. Honey has seniority. Yeah, she does. Yeah, and she milks it for all it's worth, too, I'll tell you. But, she's a good girl. You know, she comes when I call most of the time. So that's all right. Gotta love her. Gotta love her. Even when she's naughty, you gotta love her. So, anyway. It's really been almost an hour, so I got to go anyway. This chair's starting to bother my legs. I've only got shorts on. And even with jeans on, it would bother my legs. It's not the best chair. But, I just trying to be a little bit different. Not that I was really, but if the flies die down, maybe next time we can go out to the barn. But right now, the flies are just too bad. So, anyway, I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. See ya, Tim. See ya, Christy. And anybody else who's lurking out there. So, talk to you later. Have a good one, everybody.